Après,
mais
ça dépend si on prend.
ça dépend ce qu'on veut faire, parce que là, il y a un truc sympa à voir. Il y a
Voilà.
le point culminant.
Ah
là.
oui, c'est ça, le plan ce serait de faire tac.
Il y a des boucles à faire, quoi. Il y a des trucs.
Ce serait de faire tac, rester peut-être au moins une journée là, ensuite redescendre aussi. En plus là en fait oui t'as bien une petite ville. T'as forcément une. À mi-chemin on a forcément je pense une épicerie.
Donc là
tu
on
vois.
ferait ça, on prendrait ce chemin là, on ferait une petite boucle pour aller jusqu'au
Comme
sommet
ça, tac.
et on reprendrait ça.
Voilà.
Là
Ce qui serait cool, c'est quand même de passer 2-3 jours là, il y a plein de lacs.
Ouais,
Là, il y a quand
il
même
y a
un lac là, c'est bien de dormir
ouais,
au bord
ce
du
serait
lac,
trop
on peut
cool.
faire des belles images.
Tu peux prendre de l'eau dans mon sac si tu veux.
Je vais camper ici là.
Est-ce que vous pensez qu'on pourra dormir au lac ce soir?
Bien sûr, il le faut.
Alors explique-moi ce que vous faites les gars.
Alors là, on utilise une technique ancestrale pour fabriquer du feu. Et c'est à base de 2 silex.
D'accord, et vous êtes à quelle étape de la fabrication?
Là on est à l'étape...
Zéro.
La seule étape en fait. Faut frotter les pierres l'une contre l'autre.
Et ça fait combien de temps que vous essayez?
Je sais pas, une demi-heure. Mais c'est comme ça, c'est ça les vraies choses.
Et ça vous dit on commence à faire cuire un truc là? J'ai la dalle là.
Ouais, j'ai grave la dalle.
On se fait des pâtes? Ouais, mais pareil, bah, si on compte sur ton feu là.
Vjosa, it's a river that starts from Greece and comes to Albania, north of Vlora city. It goes through a long way.
E Vjosa është për ne krenaria. Ne jemi qytet breg lumor. Kemi një lum goxha i mirë që na bën të jemi krenar. Atje kur hyn te ura në qytetin tonë shkruhet përveç detit kemi gjithçka tjetër. Domethënë vetëm det nuk kemi, se të gjitha i kemi. Është një vend shumë i begat. Për me.
Vjosa is unique because it's undammed river and it's continuous from the spring to the mouth. And in terms of hydromorphology, it's the intact river in the Europe.
T'as pris l'eau.
Tout est à terre.
Donc tu écopes.
Écope.
premier est tombé directement, le kayak s'est rempli d'eau, il a failli perdre la pagaie et la tente qui partait sur la rivière.
Et surtout, on a perdu une boîte de maquereaux.
On a perdu une boîte de maquereaux. Puis, Romain s'est pété la gueule. Il a par là même perdu une GoPro qu'il a bien essayé de chercher au fond de la rivière, mais bon, c'est pas facile. Hein.
On a posé les tentes depuis. On s'est mis dans un champ au-dessus de la gravière. Puis là, le feu est fait. On s'apprête à faire à manger. Pas de sardines encore.
Pas de maquereaux.
Pas de maquereaux. Il n'y a qu'une boîte de maquereaux.
Oh putain.
Là, je suis en train de brancher un néon sur une pile et je vais poser le néon puis un drap blanc par-dessus de façon à attirer les insectes nocturnes qu'on pourra ensuite capturer.
Pour faire quoi les capturer?
Et on les capture, on les met dans l'alcool, ça les tue et ça les conserve. Et on les enverra, ouais, on tue des insectes.
C'est un bande d'écolos moisis quoi.
Et on les envoie ensuite à un chercheur qui sera en mesure de les identifier.
Ok.
Parce que
Et ça sert à quoi ça?
en fait la flore et la faune, en l'occurrence de la Vjosa, sont encore méconnues. Et les perturbations, entre guillemets, les barrages qui vont être faits dessus, vont forcément perturber aussi tout ça. Donc si on ne sait pas l'état initial, on ne sera même pas en mesure de dire ce qui a changé dans l'état naturel de la rivière avant et après l'aménagement.
The level of concern in terms of environmental topics, it's not so high in Albania because this has to do with the history, with our history. We are coming from a long period of communism, and the environment was something inexistent. After all, we have a background of poverty. It's like the pyramid of needs, you know. First you need to have to secure the food, you know, the dinner, and then you have to think for the environment. So you cannot find this scale river. You can find small rivers, of course, but big river which is free flowing, and this makes it unique in terms not only on landscape, because the landscape you can see, especially in the middle section and in the lower section, you can see the dynamic river, and the river when it is undammed, it's changing its course after every flood, you know, and then in terms of biodiversity, then in that point, the life starts from the very beginning again. This is so that we biologists call the studying of that succession.
We define it as a body of crucial importance for, at least for birds, with natural and critical habitats for birds. And it's not only that, but it's also a crucial migratory way for birds. I was amazed by this richness. This is due to the existence of this kind of agriculture in those areas, which is not monoculture. It's somehow, this is typical to Albania, sort of agricultural organization. It's a sort of mosaic of different crops. Okay. And being such a mosaic, it offers a high variety of habitats and all the species you find there, insects and all the food chain is there. You need people for the biodiversity, at least in this world.
The river is the history of this valley. It's very important because not only give work to the people in the tourist sector or in the agriculture, because it's an area vocated to agriculture and is full of water, but also it collect the people If you build something inside the river, first of all, you destroy the environment and the biodiversity. And also you stop a lot of activities.
Lumi Vjosa është i vetmi lum i egër në Evropë i pangacmuar. Është original, është bio, se ka ngacmuar njeri. Lumi Vjosa është identiteti im, identiteti përmetarve. Lumi Vjosa është që ne kemi mësuar notin. Lumi Vjosa është gjithçka originale.
Është jeta.
Është uji, është jeta. Por e dëmtuar, si unë jam peshkatar, unë shkoj për peshk, ju e provuat, unë i gjuaj ata peshk, por trajtohet keq, sepse shteti akoma nuk e ka në kontroll jetën brenda ujit, brenda Vjosës.
Jo vetëm kaq. Po shteti s'duhet të lejojë që te lumi Vjosa të bëhen hidrocentrale. Që gjithandej domethënë kush e kush do që t'i marr në koncezione të ngrejnë hidrocentrale.
Un mug de raki.
Un petit mug de raki, un petit verre comme ça là, un petit verre comme ça de raki, chacun, comme ça.
400 ml, 400 ml. Pas plus, pas moins.
Ensuite, on est parti, on leur a dit merci, puis dans la rue on est tombé sur quoi? Sur un monsieur qui distillait.
On a mangé de la grenade d'abord.
Ah oui, on a des grenades dans un
grenade. Le fils du monsieur, je pense, nous a offert des grenades. Et ensuite son père, qui avait cueilli les grenades, nous a dit bonne partie, pas dit sinon on reviendra.
Donc ça c'est un pont qui date de plus de 2 siècles. Une première pierre.
Tu viens un vrai truc ou
d'avant? Ouais, j'ai un vrai truc. Première pierre posée sous ordre d'Ali Pacha, qui était l'homme célèbre aujourd'hui du TPL.
Pour le petit repas de ce soir, des pâtes.
Et du pâté de vache.
Ouais, faire les pâtes sous la pluie, c'est pas forcément toujours évident.
Et qu'est-ce qu'on a mangé avant les pâtes?
Des
petits beurres.
Biscuits avec du peanut butter.
On a fini.
Du BDC.
Et ça, c'est un des meilleurs moments de la journée.
Parce qu'on n'a pas attrapé de poisson. En même temps, on pêchait avec des bouts de
pommes. On l'aurait fait cuire dans quoi?
Et des bouts d'amande.
T'as essayé avec l'amande?
Ouais, ça marche pas.
Il était succulent donc c'est vraiment.
Attends, t'as pas pris dans la part où il y avait déjà. On a coupé 4 par Rémi. T'as pris dans ta part?
Il est moins bon que le cochon. Hein.
T'as pris en plein milieu.
T'as pris dans ta part?
Non, j'ai pris dans ma part.
De
Zob. Et en plus, c'est la plus petite.
People are starting to be more sensibilized regarding that through also the number of tourists, because in the moment that the number of tourists is increasing, local people start to understand better that is a good resource.
And just a hypothesis, if there were a dam around Permit, would it also create jobs?
Technically yes, because if you build something you have to take people working there. But it's temporary job, because after when you have done hydropower you have only some specialists working there. So means maybe, I'm not expert, but maybe 2, 3, 4 people working there and that's all. So it's a temporary job and is not in a long-term economy successful. Because the money go only to owner of hydropower and to the company that build it. So the local, not stay the money here for local population.
So it has, landscape importance, scientific importance, and also the people that are living by the river, they make a living of the Vjosa, It provides the fertile lands, it provides the fish stock, it provides a way of living. They have learned to live by the river, and it's very difficult or almost impossible for them to remove all this community to Tirana, for instance, because they don't know how to live in Tirana. I would say a social drama as well.
On arrive où alors, Antoine?
On arrive à Kalivac, le chantier d'un des 2 barrages qui seront probablement construits sur la Vjosa.
Ok.
On voit bien la montagne qui a été creusée sur le côté.
Dans son paysage magnifique.
So you have one company putting a dam and collecting money for just its own purpose, and a whole lot of people were living in the area that are losing everything. So it is somehow a fight between a community and one company. It's pretty much a clear picture that very few people are going to profit from this, while the others, the majority, a lot of people are going to lose from it. The position of the government so far has been in favor of the dams. For that reason, you have a great coalition being against this hydropower in their dams.
How much energy does Albania get from hydropower?
To be exact, I don't know the figure how much, but I know the figure that Albania is 100% dependent on hydropower. Okay. So there is no other source of energy.
Okay, so Albania is electricity sufficient?
It's not electricity sufficient, and it can never be if you are only depending on one source of getting the energy only. You can never be. I can tell you the fact that only in May this year, the bill of the import of energy from the neighboring country was some 40 million of euros.
Okay, so Albania
they import energy, but at the same time they export energy. During the dry season, you cannot produce energy. So if you are depending only on the hydropower, then you are depending on the weather conditions. And then after studies that we have conducted, they turned out to be like 2,700 dams all over the Balkans, and this is what we know so far, because there might be more, in a very small scale area. You know, Balkans, it's not huge. When it comes to Albania, it's like each 5-6 kilometers there will be a dam. And the same situation is all over the Balkans, and this number is growing and growing, and that's why it's a kind of tsunami, you know, it's like tsunami works. So. That's why all this dam tsunami, it has nothing to deal with energy demand, it has nothing to do with energy supply for the people and so on. We are not even so industrialized country. We don't need this amount of energy. But this has to deal with only one thing that we can never prove, and we are not going to prove, but we can feel. It's just the corruption behind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure. When we started the campaign, you know, they said, "What? Are you against of hydro? This is the cleanest energy. This is the cheapest one," and so on. And now, after 4 years, even the government thinks twice. You know, when they are issuing a concession, so they are thinking that, oh, the hydropower is not so green as it was, and this is one of our main achievement. So we have changed people's mentality.
In the silence, as this water's covered across the valley where the origins of who we are. On ships and thousands of stories, gorgeous constructions, gathering layers of dust, heading beyond the red. Humans will cousins buried in Hassan Cave. Do you want a guided tour around the caves and the homes? 12,000 years of those not being evicted and shunned. They'll carry bones to a brand new graveyard, but only if you have cash to pay, or they'll be thrown away. Humans will cousins buried in Hassan Cave.
Les gars, on a fini.
Ah, bien joué.
On a enfin fini la Vjosa.
Antoine est déjà nostalgique, il va
la fin.
bientôt pleurer.
C'est vrai que c'est la fin de la Vjosa.
Ajouter le sel de ses larmes au sel de la mer.
Donc tu poète.
Oh là là.
Ces petites vagues là, c'est la mer.
see again the message. Protect your Vjosa, because when we don't protect it, they will build the dams. And when they build one single dam, the Vjosa will be destroyed. And that we will all help to stop these dam plans, because we have another vision. We want to become the Vjosa, Europe's first wild river national park.
Prandaj unë jam këtu për t'ju dhënë mesazhin që të gjithë së bashku duhet të përpiqemi ta mbrojmë Vjosën sepse përfundimin e fjalë më i madh është.
Hajde Mario, ndoj makina. Uza bulatore. Mario, ndoj makina shpejto. Ai s'von të çaj. Jo, o Limon, u të bëha të kleas, more. Da fama. Çu sauça. Hajde Gilberto! Hello! Hello! Ora tu! Hello! 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 Good news one! Hello! 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 Namaste! Hello! 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 Hello!
Hey!
E bën këteja ato që do shikosh. Hello! Hello! Jo, këtu are! Hello! Unë i tim nga vjetë nga turist! Jo, e bën këtu! Pa ti më martë, ore!